Hi! Bonjour! So, it's been a few days, maybe even weeks, since I filmed the process of buying the books I'm gonna be talking about in this video, and you already know what this is about. I'm gonna be reading my favorite YouTubers' favorite books. It's mainly how I get some recs. I just look their videos, their favorite books, and then I read their favorite books. But I've been thinking about doing this kind of video of I'm reading my favorite booktubers' favorite books. Because I love watching these types of videos, and you can't imagine how happy it made me to buy these books. I was just waiting for an excuse to buy them, except for this one. I'll talk about it a little bit more after. But it's been a few days, and since then we also gained like 10 more degrees. It's freaking out outside. But I'm not gonna rumble too much about that. The concept of this video will be that I'm gonna review with you every single book I'm gonna be reading and tell you whose YouTubers it's coming from, whose recommendation it is. At the end of the video, it's just gonna help me to get a more precise idea of our compatibility with my most favorite YouTubers. Oh, I wanna sneeze. No, it's not coming. Oh, I hate it. And I'm gonna make a percentage and talk to you about the books I already read from them and if I love them or not. But let's start by talking about the books. So the first book I have on my pile, you've already seen it, is The Sword of Kaigen by ML Wong. This is part of the favorite books of Katie's reading and Front of Pages. I know they both love it so dearly, and most of the people that I've seen that have read it really loved it. And this edition is my boyfriend's. He bought it. He DNF'd it, unfortunately, so I can't wait to see why and if I'm gonna do the same. This is a beautiful French edition, but he's already worn it out. Is it English? I'm not sure. It's a bit damaged, but it's his way, you know. He's not very picky about the condition of his books. I'm not sure I'm gonna start with this one because it's quite a chunky book, and I've read some fantasy lately. I've read The Boy Empress. I've already talked to you about it, I think, in my May wrap-up. I have also, of course, Bat Eater by Kylie Baker. I wanted to read this for so long, and the English bookstore I have near the flat of my boyfriend even did a book club, but I couldn't attend, so I'll take this as an excuse that Seed and Plant-Based Bride, if I'm not mistaken, has this book in their favorites. I want to read it so badly. I'm in. I don't know much apart from the fact that the main character is a crime scene cleaner, yes, so I'm intrigued. I bet it's gonna be unhinged, maybe a bit hard to read. Next we have the first book in the Murderbot series, The Murderbot Diaries, All Systems Red, sorry. Same, I've been hearing about this book for so long. I wanted this year to be my science fiction year, kind of. This is one of the favorites of Lexi Newly Nova can read. Lexi can read Newly Nova, I don't remember, sorry. And I know Katie's reading also loved the first one, a little bit less the next in the series. Paris Project also loved this, and Sid. And also Carrie can read. Can't wait to start this one too. And it has an Apple TV show adaptation. One more excuse to read this before seeing the TV show, I can't wait. Next I have The Starving Saints by Caitlin Stalling. Look at this cover. It's stunning. I just love it. It's horror too, and I just know that Carrie can read loved it, and I just needed an excuse to read it. This one I don't have it on my TBR for that long, but I just wanted to prioritize it, so here it is. I can't wait. It's quite a little bit more chunky than the other ones, and it's quite stiff too. I don't really like it, but it looks wonderful. I can't wait. The last one is The Coin by Yasmin Zaheri. This one is a favorite of Jack Edwards. He always has very good literary fiction recommendations according to me. This is from a Palestinian author, if I'm not mistaken, too, and just can't wait. This looks to be the story told from a woman, a Palestinian woman who kind of immigrated, but not really in the United States, but she's sort of rich and she seems very unhinged. Love unhinged women, so this might be my jam. I am truly so excited about every one of these books because every one of them is a potential 5 stars. How exciting is that? I'm just, too much things happening in my head. I need to stop. I need to calm myself down. And I'm gonna make this a series. I'm gonna read, I think, 5 books per 5 books because I have such a long list of those YouTubers' favorite that I trust to, even though we have some different opinions about some of them. Of course, I'm gonna talk about it a little bit more at the end of the video, I think. But how excited. I can't wait. Let's just start. Otherwise, this intro will be too long. It will take forever. And I think I'm gonna start with The Coin. It's a short one. I need a short one to start with because I just came out from The Poet Empress and I just finished Devotions 2. You know what I thought about them, and I just need a short literary fiction, and I think that maybe after that I will either read a more chunky book like The Starving Saints or Bad Eater. I'm just so excited to read every one of them. Hi, bonjour, I have some updates for you. I finished The Coin. It was quite a ride. It was truly quite a ride. I think I'm giving this 4.5 stars. Our main character is a Palestinian. She wants to try to fulfill the dream of her whole generation to settle in the United States. She's very unhinged. She has an inheritance from her father, so every month she has a check from her brother, and she just loves spending money on good outfits. She's a fashion addict, but she has like few pieces, but really good pieces of fashion, and she's obsessed with being clean. She has a very thorough and very obsessive ritual to clean herself, to scrub every inch of her skin, and she can't reach 1 square in her shoulder, between her shoulder blades, her scapula. I've learned these words, it's fancy. And I don't know, I'm still digesting this book, because aside for the fact that she has a very straightforward way to critique politics and the social inequalities in New York, and fashion is in a sense too, but on poor people. I loved how unhinged she was, and I think that just the writing sometimes is a bit confusing, I would say, and I'm not sure about what the moral of this book is, but overall I quite enjoyed the ride and I understand why Dark Edwards really loved it. Yes. It was quite right. I'm just not sure yet if it's a new favorite. I don't know, it might be. I just maybe need some steps back to ponder on it. I don't know. But in the meantime, I'm started and I'm already eating this book up. I'm almost, not almost. But I think tonight I'm gonna reach the halfway mark of this book, and it is Bat Eater. I'm loving the writing. We follow our main character. She's a crime scene cleaner, but she was not always this, and it's happening during COVID-19, which I was not expecting to. I'm really enjoying the fact that I'm reading finally a book during this period of time. An event also is happening within the first chapter. I was not ready for this. Not at all. I didn't read the back of the book, and please do not do that too, but just know that it is very graphic, very gross. It is a horror book after all, so yes. I'm loving the setting. This is amazing, and I love the fact that it tackles also racism against Chinese people during the pandemic, so I think I'm gonna finish this really soon. I think I'm gonna finish it before going to Paris, so we'll see. I'll talk to you later. I'll make some updates. Hi, bonjour. I owe you some update because I'm back from Paris and I finished Bat Eater by Kylie Baker. I ate this book up. I loved it. It's a new favorite. It's a new 5 stars. I don't know if it's the fact that within the first chapter we have such a violent event that made me so engaged in the story and empathy for our main character, and also the setting, the fact that it's set in New York during COVID time, and that's the first book I read set in COVID time, so it was so interesting that it deals with also heavy topics such as racism, grief, but also it deals with a lot of horror tropes, I would say, but it's not going in every direction. It's still really digestible. I feel at some point that the author wanted to do a lot of things, but it's still really good. The horror part of it, stunning. I just loved it. Oh, if you've read this book, the scene with a washing machine. I would just say that at the end, the pacing was a little bit off. It was really going fast because of the event happening, but at the end it was, I don't know, but still loved it. 5 stars, new favorite. I can't wait now to read Japanese Gothic, and I want to throw out my TBR for July just so I can read Japanese Gothic for summer winter. We'll see. So that's that. And during my weekend in Paris, I started The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling. Yes. It's a little bit more difficult to get into the story, I would say, because of how the characters are introduced to us, but I love the setting. I love the medieval siege in the castle setting and hunger striking because of the siege. We are thrown into the midst of chaos within the first pages, so that's why I think I struggled a little bit, and I don't know how it's gonna go. I don't want to say too much now. I'll just update you at the end, but I'm really loving it. I don't know if it's gonna be a favorite though.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
Let's read. And also almost let you go without talking to you about my finished crocheting project. How cool is this? Oh, alright, I'm saying it's finished, but I just need to tuck the remaining straw inside. Ta-da! How cool is that? I made it myself. I need to tuck this too, here, somewhere. But I did it myself. I'm so proud, and I already have my next project. I'm gonna do a sunflower granny square bandana, and I already bought the colors I'm gonna be using. I'm gonna be using this brown and this yellow for the sunflower, but also I'm gonna be using this light baby blue for the banana itself. I can't wait. I'm super excited to do this for the summer. So yes, I'm gonna start bothering you with all my projects. I hope you're gonna be okay with this. Otherwise, I'm sorry. Apa sih? Apa sih? Apa sih? Hi punks, I'm at my parents' house and I'm back with some updates because yesterday when I was in the municipal pool I finished The Starving Saints. And let me tell you, this is a disappointment because it's not a hit. It's not a hit. I think I will give it 3.75 stars. This is not definitive. I think I'm gonna take some steps back till the end of the video when I'm gonna give you final reviews of the books. But my first impression is that this book has a very promising premise because it's happening in medieval times during a siege, and it tackles very heavy, dark themes such as starvation, cannibalism, religion, kind of cults too. And as I've said, it looks super promising. It looks like something that I would love, but the execution of it felt like a fever dream, but not in the best sense possible because it was very confusing. At first, we're introduced to 3 different characters with their own point of view, so we have 3 POVs, and we are introduced a little bit to them and a little bit to their background, but not that much. So through the book, they felt very distant to me, and the events happening are as confusing. I think I loved the beginning of this book a bit more. That was my favorite part, but at the end it gets very repetitive. Things are happening, you don't really know why, and that's quite important to the story, but you don't know how it can happen, and it's very frustrating. A little spoiler part because I really need to talk about it, and if you've read it, please tell me what you thought about it. In the story, they're starving, okay, and we have one witch who made a miracle already. She made the water potable, drinkable, and the king asked her to make another miracle and to produce food from nothing. And so she's trying to figure out this thing, and he has his serving night for the king. She's gonna survey her, kind of. She's gonna make sure that she's reworking in order for the miracle to happen. And this night killed our third character's point of view, Trela, and she killed her father, and so Trela has this vengeance quest against this knight. And the witch, Focine, who's trying to make the miracle happen, she has summoned saints by error, and these saints are true monsters. They are making the civilians, the people of the castle, to eat each other, and the good ones are main characters. They are becoming like monsters, but not really. They're not real monsters, and the saints are not really monsters too. And the bees that have a secret position there because of the honey too. They're working for the saints that are true monsters, but at first we don't think they're monsters. And then the bees all of a sudden are not monsters anymore, like part of the monsters. They decide that they're unconscious and everything. And Trela, the one who has the vengeance quest, she at one point manages to go out, but she has to pay a price for it, one of her finger and an ear. But then she's like, maybe I'll just come back because I feel like guilty. And then She was just truly in love with the knight she wanted vengeance from, and then she's like, we should go out, but she doesn't want to go out finally. It's just really repetitive and just, yeah, very confusing. It feels like the author wanted to do a lot in a fever dreamy, confused world, but I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy my time with it. It was just truly hard to read because maybe of me, but also of the third person, and I don't think it was done that well because unfortunately she repeats the name so many times. I even took pictures. Wait. Okay, so one example is she doesn't know what the right move is here. She doesn't know if it's smart or foolish to tell Fozin about Barn or about the power of the iron. She doesn't know if she trusts Fozin to do the right thing, and more than that, doesn't know if it even matters that Fozin knows if it's right or wrong. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of painful to read. So overall, I was not really having a super good time reading it. But I love just the premise of it. That's why I'm not gonna put under 3.5 stars because yeah, it has queer representation too. This is such a shame. But on the other hand, I started another book, and it is the Murderbot series, All Systems Red. I am obsessed. I started this yesterday afternoon, during the pool afternoon. I'm already over halfway through the book, so I think tomorrow I might be done. How exciting is that? I love our main character. Our main character is a security robot who is working under contract for a company whenever clients needs him to be protected on different planets, on different... yeah, this is science fiction. In case it wasn't maybe obvious, and in case I didn't say it before. Somehow he hacked his system, even if the system would not let him make these decisions. He can take decisions however he wants. It wants. In the book, he's referenced as It Wants, and he named itself Murderbot, which I think is hilarious. So I should maybe call it. I don't know. And he's very nonchalant and very shy. He cannot do eye contact with humans. He's not really comfortable in their presence, you know. But he has real emotions, which confuses the humans he's working for. I love that. I just love that. And he's hilarious. So we are off to a good start with this one. I can't wait, but also I don't want to finish it too soon. But also there are 8 books now, I think, in this series, so I might as well read it super quickly. I don't know, very confusing thoughts and emotions in my brain right now. But yes, so one book is left. I can't wait. It's Sword of Kaigen, and I need to rush through these books because it's almost the end of the month. We are the 16th of June, and I have 2 more books to read from my TBR, Swimming in the Dark and Sunburn, and I would love to read another one. I don't remember which one it is. Maybe Every Summer After by Carly Fortune? I don't know, because the TV show is out and I want to rant about it with a friend, so I might do that. I'm talking too much. Let's keep reading. Hi, bonjour. I have some updates for you. Some heatwave updates. It's gonna be 38 degrees today. I finished All Systems Red. I loved it. It was so good. I am so attached to Murderbot. I want to know everything that happens. I just want to be immersed in the world again. It was super short, very addictive. Our main character is very nonchalant. I loved everything about it. It has some thriller vibes too, because you're always on the edge of your seat to know what's gonna happen. So addictive. I loved it. I started also The Sword of Kaigen by ML Wong. I would say that at first for this one I was a bit skeptic. It's partly, mainly on me because so many words we don't know. We are in a completely different universe. It is happening on planet Duna with the Japanese inspired world, and we don't know so many words. Like the author created so many words, and there's a glossary at the end. I did not feel on this trap, to this trap, I don't know this time. As for Gideon the Ninth, I looked at the end if there was a glossary, and there was one. It's why I say it's mainly a me thing. It's just that with one standalone, I don't want to spend all my time learning new words, going to the glossary for a book I know I'll just spend time one time. Does that make sense? I'm not sure. If it's like Robin Hood and you know there's gonna be 12 books, even more, I don't remember. Sure, I'm invested. I'm gonna learn the new words and keep looking for them, and at some point they're gonna stick with me, you know. Here it's not the case, so it's breaking my rhythm, and until page 250 I would say I was not that much invested, even though the main characters are endearing. We have a dual point of view. The whole situation here is that it's a village, a small village with very traditional ancestral, coming from ancestral families, I mean warriors. They're learning ancestral techniques passed on from man to man on their families. The women here have a very low position. And our main character, one of our main character here, is 14 years old. He's named Mamoru, which means protection in Japanese, and he's learning slowly because of a foreigner coming into this town that he might be under propaganda. And it's about this whole thing of being born somewhere and being brainwashed, trying to emancipate from it, or being in this moral position of, do I keep going on like this because I just want to serve my country, this empire, or do I rebel, kind of? So that's an interesting part of it, but other than that, I felt like things were predictable, things were dragging on until page 250, until something happened and it just threw me away. Yeah, it was I was not ready for that. It was not predictable, at least for me. I mean, I didn't expect something of this scale to happen. And now I'm just like, okay, how is this going to end? So I'm really waiting. Now this has picked up my attention, this has picked up my curiosity, but I'm really waiting to see how it's gonna end, and how it's gonna end is going to determine my final rating. Because now I would say, because of the fact that I begin to enjoy what's happening, not what's happening per se, but the turn it took that surprised me, will go towards a 4, 4.5, but depending on the end, it might become a favorite. But no, I'm not feeling the new favorite book. I'm not. So I'm already on page like 450, 64. So I have a little less than 200 pages left. I think I can try to do it today, but I have a birthday tonight, so I'm not sure I'm gonna be able. At least tomorrow it's gonna be doable. And I have a little crochet update for you. You can skip this part if you're not interested. I finished my 6 granny sunflower squares. I just need to do 4 half sunflowers. I thought that I was only missing 1, but I messed up this one because it has only 5 petals when it needs 6, so I need to redo it again. Just need to undo some of the threads and do it again, but yes. So I'm almost there. So I'm gonna try to also crochet today. We'll see. I don't think it's gonna be possible because I'm doing it at the end of the day, usually in front of the Handmaid's Tale. So, and as I have a birthday party tonight, I will not be able to do that. So I will not have a finished product for you in this video, but next time maybe. So that's that. Let's keep on reading. Hi, bonjour. It is time for the last update of the video. I finished Sword of Kaigen, and this is not a new favorite. No. Because it's the last one I've read, and right now I really want to give it only a 3.75 stars. I know, that is such a disappointment. So first, for the negative points. Same as I've said already, we are thrown in a very heavy, constructed fantasy world with magic powers, but we are not really told how they function, how they work. We have an info dump about the historical facts of the world, how it's constructed, how the government works, and it's during a history class with one of our main characters, Mamoru, who is 14 years old. So it's just info dumping, and it just felt like flashbacks of me in school trying to listen and being bored, and it wasn't pleasant. Bored because the professor was not really, alive with how he was teaching his class, Not bored because I don't love education, okay? That was a bit of a shame, but there are other negative points about it. The pacing of this book didn't suit me as well. Nothing really happened until page 250. Okay, they're teasing a little bit the propaganda thing, the fact that maybe our characters will do something about it. Then catastrophic events are happening at page 250 until around maybe page 400, and then you're dealing with the consequences of this until the end. But nothing really happens after that as well. There's not really any characters development, not really any changes concerning the government, concerning their environment. And then maybe the last 25 pages, one of our main character meets an old acquaintance and it's just exchanging about the past, and it's feeling like I want to give you answers for a lot of things, but I'm just dumping infos again. It didn't feel that emotional to me. It didn't work on me, not really, unfortunately. Another negative point, the writing also felt over explaining and sometimes over comparing, when you want to make metaphors. Is there an English word for that? I'm sure, but is it the same? Also, there are contradictions. For example, at the beginning, the sister-in-law of one of our main character, Misaki, we are told that she cooks divinely, but at the end, she's asking for help because otherwise it would not be good. Doesn't really make sense. It's a small thing, it's not the main reason I didn't really like this book. That's just one more thing that adds up, But here are the main things that disturbed me. Is that first, you have this idea of the purity of the blood because you need to marry with very high ranked people, very noble people, so you can have children with very powerful powers. And even though we have some hints of queerness, of people choosing love instead of purity of the blood, at the end our main character is like, yeah, but I couldn't do that. My beliefs and the religion and being rejected by your family, I couldn't do that. Aside of that, she was a very powerful warrior. She has very clear mind about propaganda and about the empire just using its people, not really caring for them. And I thought that it was such a shame that aside of that, she couldn't go beyond that. I don't know, it's just one other contradiction, I think. I would really love to know what you think about it, because I know I'm one of the rare people that didn't really enjoy it, so please tell me. The other thing that bothered me is that the dad of Mamoru, so the husband of Misaki, our two main characters, he's very abusive, he's cold-hearted, he doesn't really care about Misaki. She had 2 miscarriages and he didn't go through this with her, he just abandoned her. And at the end, little spoiler part, sorry, at the end he's excused because himself was abused by his parents, but I'm part of the team saying this is not an excuse. No, you cannot use your past abuses to get abusive as well then. No, it's not working. And especially for a main character that has such a strong personality, excusing him like this didn't really work for me. And then she just leave her true marriage with him after that. I mean, I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that. No, girl, no, flee. Go with Robin. For me, they should have ended together. But she chose her beliefs, her religion, and her family above all. So I respect that for her, but not the choice I would have made. And for that, I'm very disappointed. And for that, I truly know there are good things about this book too. I really loved the setting. I loved the Japanese folklore inspirations too. I loved being able to read some Japanese words. And another thing I loved too is how it depicted war and its consequences. So that's why I'm not giving under 3.5 stars. It's quite an enjoyable book, but not for me, unfortunately. It's such a shame. That's the biggest disappointment of the video, I think. So let's do our final reviews. The Coin by Yasmin Zaher, still a 4.5 stars. I had time to sit on it because I started this video 3 weeks ago. And yeah, I can confirm that this story will not stay with me for long, as I can still remember it, you know, because it was quite a ride, I repeat. But it's not, a story that will stick with me as much as other 5 stars books. So for this, I know it's not a 5 stars. It's completely subjective, you know, okay? Then Bat Eater by Kylie Lee Baker. Yes, still a 5 stars. I absolutely loved it. It's my favorite book of this video, I think. The Starving Saints by Caitlin Starling is still a 3.75 stars. I did not change my mind on that. I might give it a reread at some point. Maybe I was not in the good mood for this one because it gets very confusing, and sometimes you just have to accept that it's getting confusing. I watched again Carrie Can Read's review on that, and she said as well that after reading this book she didn't really know still if she has understand anything. I'm comforted in my feelings. All Systems Read by Martha Wells, still 5 stars. Loved this book. I can't wait to read what's next in this series. This might be a new obsession. We don't know. And Sword of Kaigen, unfortunately 3.75 stars. So what about the compatibility with my favorite booktubers? And I mean, those are among others, you know, they're not the only one. I would love also to include smaller booktube creator that I've discovered recently, but first I really wanted to do by nostalgia the ones I follow for the longest. So first, Front of Pages, from who I got the Sword of Kaigen recommendations, because she's the one I associate with this book. I have a 50% compatibility because before that I've read Funny Story that she loves too, one of my favorite romance book, my favorite Emily Henry's book too as well. I've read also Part of Your World, which was not a 5 stars but very close to it. Loved it. Also read Crime and Punishment thanks to her. Loved it. Almost a new favorite. I've read Katie Bases, which was okay to me, and Don't Let the Forest In, which was okay to me. It was only okay. So for that, I have a 55% compatibility. I add 5% when I loved the book, but it's just not a new favorite. For Sid, she made me read Dungeon Chronicle. Love this series. She loves as well Don't Let the Forest In, but it was just okay to me, as I've said. I Who Have Never Known Man, one of my favorite books also of all time, 5 stars, loved it. She also read and loved Murder. It was a little bit of a disappointment because of how the author has done one of the revelation in this book. I didn't really enjoy the process of it, but overall a really enjoyable read, but not one of my favorite. And Bat Eater, of course, 5 stars, one of my new favorite, one of my new horror favorite for sure. So we have a compatibility of 75%. Lexi, aka Newly Nova, I've read not because of her, because I discovered her quite recently, but I've also read Half a Soul that I loved, and Notes on an Execution that I loved as well. And she loved All Systems Read, so it's a 100% compatibility for now. For Jack Edwards, I read as well Homegoing by Agassi. Loved this book. The Handmaid's Tale, one of my new favorite book of all time. It's gonna be on my top 10 this year for sure. Open Water, I quite enjoyed it. Not a new favorite. And The Corn, quite enjoyed it, not a new favorite. So it's a 60% compatibility. For Plant-Based Bride, I started to follow her videos more rigorously since last year. She loved Gideon the Ninth, which was almost a new favorite to me, but the experience was altered because of me not knowing there was a glossary at the end. She also loved A Day Fallen Night, which I quite enjoyed too, and she loved Bat Eater. So it's a 66% compatibility. For Katie's reading, she loved the first book in the Dungeon Chronicle series. She loved The Sword of Kaigen too, Don't Let the Forest In, and Emily Wilde's series, which is very dear to my heart too. So it's a 50% compatibility, 50-50. For Paris Project, she loves the Assassin's Quest trilogy, she also loved the Murderbot series, she loves Dungeon Chronicle, Gideon the Ninth, and Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. But I think she loves A River Enchanted, like Elements of Cadence duology, which is not my case. So this, I thought that we had 100% compatibility, but it's more around 80. Editing me will do the math. For Carrie can read, so she loved Starving Saints. But she also loved Gideon the Ninth and the Murderbot series. So it's a 66.66% compatibility. No comments. That's it, punks. We're done with this video. It was so much fun, but as it was my first one, if you have any comments, any ideas, please tell me about them. I can't wait to continue this series. It's so much fun. Holy guacamole, I'm sweating so much. I'm filming this at 8:30 in the morning because otherwise the heat, it's been 4 days that it's 38 to 40 degrees outside and it's gonna keep it that way, and I have a wedding this weekend. Not complaining. I need to compare myself to Uzbekistan and Afghanistan. I know they're around 50s around there. Ooh, fresh breeze, yes. Fresh breeze. So I'm just gonna end up this video here. I'm melting. As always, punks, thank you for clicking, for watching till the end. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and thus to see you on the next one. Most importantly, you know it. Thank you for being nice. It's not really the case on my last video, but that's okay. I love saying different opinions. That's very funny but also terrifying. And with that, I have to say bye.